Just over 2 months ago, markets were at a record high as healthy data on the U.S. economy signaled continued economic growth on the horizon. Then, as Vladimir Putin and his Russian military first threatened and then began an outright invasion of Ukraine on February 24th, world financial markets began a significant decline. The events of the past week and a half have again reminded us we live in extremely unsettled and uncertain times. Hello, my name is Joseph Eschleman, president of Towerpoint Wealth in downtown Sacramento, and in this video I'm going to address the major implications of the war in Ukraine for the financial markets, our economy, and most importantly, your portfolio. As the situation in Ukraine continues to rock the world, we all bear witness to Russia's attack on the sovereign and democratic nation of Ukraine. Many of us are feeling torn between overwhelming sadness at the loss of human life and growing worry about how all of this will impact us, both today and obviously in the future. Now, over the last week, market movements have experienced extreme volatility as investors try to make heads or tails of the situation. What will the societal and economic implications possibly be? Well, this real crisis, which is unfortunately continuing to develop, will profoundly reshape life and world order, both here in America and globally. Now, our job here at Towerpoint Wealth is to consider the possible implications for the financial markets and our economy, as well as your portfolio. Given the unprecedented Western sanctions on Russia, as well as Ukraine being one of the major transmission routes for Russian gas to Europe, the crisis is already leading to higher energy prices. The price of a barrel of oil has surged past $100, hitting its highest levels since 2014. And while the International Energy Agency agreed yesterday to release 60 million barrels of oil from global reserves in an attempt to ease some of the current supply constraints, there is no question that global energy security is under threat, potentially putting the world economy at risk during a fragile post-COVID-19 recovery. Now, here in the U.S., sustained oil and energy price increases could hamper the Federal Reserve's ability to contain and control inflation, a situation we are keeping a very close eye on here at Towerpoint. The S&P 500, a common proxy of the U.S. stock market, is down more than 8% already in 2022. And there are those who fear a flat-out bear market, when the stock market declines by 20% or more, could be just around the corner. Are further declines an inevitability? Hardly. Is additional short-term volatility something all investors should be prepared for? Absolutely. Preparing for, expecting, and managing economic and market uncertainty should always be at the forefront of an investor's mind, and these concepts always become more magnified during times of extreme uncertainty. What we have been examining at Towerpoint Wealth is how history has reacted to previous geopolitical shocks. And as evidenced by the chart you are looking at now, the stock market has usually recovered quickly from geopolitical crises. Now, understanding that the future never perfectly matches the past, it does oftentimes rhyme. Here at Towerpoint Wealth, rarely will we be knee-jerk or reactionary to hourly, daily, or even weekly geopolitical and economic developments. They just happen far too regularly, and our philosophy behind helping clients to build and protect their wealth has very little to do with these shorter-term events. Now, please do not mistake my comments as being callous to what is happening in Ukraine right now. nor mistake this philosophy as one of purposeful ignorance or of not having our finger on the pulse of these current events, because we are paying direct attention. While it may be difficult to conceptualize right now, at Towerpoint Wealth, we do believe that the Russia-Ukraine crisis does have a timeline. In the meantime, our economy and financial markets are experiencing short-term stress, and we believe things in the financial markets will continue to be downright volatile. However, we believe that while the possibility exists, the probability of a full-blown recession here in the United States is quite low. We advise our clients, understanding that more market volatility is a virtual given, that if you are prone to anxiety over seeing temporary, shorter-term downward movements in your account balances, that you consider a pause, perhaps, in scrutinizing your February statements. While we certainly do not advocate ignorance, we do recognize that small behavioral adjustments can oftentimes help people stay on track and make smart decisions and non-decisions and remain objective during times of extreme duress and uncertainty. Expect us to continue to work to ensure that this recent spate of political and economic upheaval does not translate into our clients making undisciplined, emotional, and reactive decisions. We have worked hard to develop and implement customized and comprehensive financial, investment, and retirement plans for each of you, and being ready for, even expecting, events like we are currently going through are central principles when it comes to successfully coordinating your personal financial health. While we are disgusted, horrified, and grieving over what is happening, we're also prepared for it. Now, unfortunately, we've been here before, and we'll probably be here again. And like always, we believe that these circumstances will be temporary. And while none of us enjoy experiencing such an unsettled geopolitical environment, dealing with and managing uncertainty, volatility, and adversity are all important parts of being a successful investor. Here at Towerpoint Wealth, we feel that thinking about and trying to predict how and when a market recovery will begin to take shape is somewhat unproductive. So instead of making guesses and predictions, we continue to focus on what we have direct control over, and feel that our clients will be well served by focusing along with us on these 4 things. Number 1, these circumstances, again, are temporary. We are 100% confident that it is not an if, but a when recovery will begin. And we are also confident that accurately predicting the exact timing of that recovery is next to impossible, so don't spend too much time and energy trying to do so. Just keep the word temporary in the front of your mind. Number 2, as Warren Buffett said, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. The risk management, tax, and cost reduction and diversification principles that we have preached and implemented for you here at Towerpoint Wealth have never been more important than right now. Successful investing has always been about managing risk, not avoiding it. And while no one has been unaffected by this downturn, virtually all of you have felt some insulation because of the cash and more conservative bond positions you're currently holding. 3, a decline is a great opportunity to pick up bargains left behind by investors who are fleeing the storm in panic. If you have the courage to put capital to work when prices are low and things seem quite uncertain. Lastly, number 4, abandoning your goals, your plan, and your philosophy during this temporary storm will only compound these temporary problems, not alleviate them. These are scary and uncertain times, Feelings of worry and anxiety are common and shouldn't be discounted. While we objectively know it is important to remain level-headed, hey, we're human beings. And we also need to understand and recognize that on some days, we will feel the polar opposite of level-headed. This is understandable, and frankly, it's okay. Here at Towerpoint Wealth, we're here for you. We have earned our stripes with years of experience in guiding our clients through financial, economic, political storms. Today's circumstances are no different. Remember, panic is not a solution, and it's also never permanent. Thank you.